that beat.
Me too.
All right, welcome back. We are heading into the month of love with Valentine's Day, just 2 weeks away right now. But could you be sabotaging your chance at romance?
Jess McCann is a relationship coach and the author of the new book, Cursed: Why You Still Don't Have the Relationship You Want and the 5 Cures That Can Transform Your Love Life. She joins us with self-sabotaging behaviors to stop today. So, Jess McCann, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
All right, well, I want to just first jump right in. Your book is called Cursed. Are we really cursed when it comes to relationships, especially in this day and age?
Yeah, good question. And sometimes people read the title and go, oh gosh, I don't want to read that book. But you know, what happened was I started this coaching business of mine roughly 12 years ago with the intent to just help people with a dating strategy of how to get into a relationship. You know, how to build a profile or message someone. And what happened was people kept coming to me with these problematic patterns in their relationship. They kept saying, I just feel like I'm cursed. You know, I can't get past a 3rd date. Or I feel like I'm cursed. At 6 months, the relationship just falls apart. So I heard it so much, I'm cursed, that I thought, is there a curse? I need to figure this out. Well, what I found was we create these problematic patterns in our relationship due to habits we have. And it's not the habits like leaving the toilet seat up or biting our nails or doing something like that. They're thought habits, and we all have them, and we're not even aware of them.
Where do you start to become aware of some of those things that you're doing that you may not realize you're doing?
Well, that's why you hire a coach or you read this book.
You read the book.
Yeah, because I spent the next 10 years really figuring out what is the curse, what are these habits that we have, and I broke it down in the book to make it very digestible so that you can really see yourself in some of the stories and figure out if you have some of these patterns that could be very well sabotaging your relationship.
Okay, so I know so many of our viewers are probably like, okay, maybe I have some of these. If you're having trouble kind of securing that relationship, I know we aren't going to have time to talk about all of them, but let's start with maybe one of the top habits that are sabotaging our relationships.
So one of the habits would be your mind is stuck in a pattern of wanting, and what that kind of looks like outside of a relationship is always wanting something that you don't have right now. So maybe you're like, oh, I just keep wanting a new pair of shoes, or I need to keep upgrading my iPhone, or I need a new car. So your mind is like perpetually wanting what you don't have. The problem is when you get into a relationship or you start dating someone, you might want them, you might want to be with them, but then after a certain amount of time, your restless mind wanting to want goes, I don't really like them anymore. I'm kind of bored because there's nothing to want anymore. You already have that person. So that's why some people perpetually lose interest in other people after, you know, 2 or 3 months or 6 months, whatever the case may be for that individual. And you know, even worse, some people can become addicted to the pattern of wanting. So they start to choose people that are unavailable because they know I'll never really have them.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I feel like there's a lot of like kind of soul searching here that you have to do because you kind of have to like dig up some of these. Give us another habit.
So another habit that's really familiar today is always thinking about the future. I just call it future thinking. And we spend a lot of time talking about being present right now. And what I see on dates is that future thinking is a huge problem for just building a connection in the digital age. Because people will go on dates, and instead of being engaged and present in the moment, their mind is off thinking of the future. Well, what if this person doesn't text me tomorrow? What if they go on a date with someone else next week and like someone else? What if they go out of town and forget about me? And so instead of being present in the moment, their mind is full of these what if scenarios, all in the future, which is keeping them disconnected in the present. And you know, the person on the date doesn't realize that this person is future thinking. They're just thinking, we're not really connecting here. She's not very engaging, he's not very engaging. Yeah.
And you talk as well about, you know, comparing your relationship to other people's relationships. I mean, we always talk about relationship goals. So where's the balance? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, well, I mean, comparing is just a really detrimental habit to have, but unfortunately, because we live in a social media culture and we are online, it's just so natural to get sucked into that comparison. But what I notice is that offline, people continue the comparison, and that's so toxic for a relationship because, you know, while your husband might come home with like a dozen roses, you know, if you just saw something online that was, you know, a husband surprised his wife with a trip, all of a sudden those roses aren't good enough for you. And that can sabotage your relationship with your husband because he's happy, he's thinking he's getting you a gift, meanwhile you're disappointed. So you continue that comparison and you're going to end up sabotaging your relationship with the good relationship that you have currently.
There's so much here. Where can we get some more information?
Well, you can go to my website, jessmccann.com, or the book is available on Amazon.
Wonderful.
All right.
I think this is great stuff, especially before Valentine's Day. You, my friend, no longer, you're not cursed by the relationship. You're happily married, yes?
I'm happily married with 2 kids, but I will say
Beautiful.
this book is for singles and people that are married.
That's a great point. You're right.
Got to keep working on it.
Yeah, you have to.
It's always a work in progress
It is.
relationships.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jess.
Thank you.